Today I'm going to be checking out this induction cooktop by Vevor. I was sent this at no cost so I can do the review. So I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the box, see everything it comes with, and then we're going to test it out. So this is the cooktop out of the box. It has a power cord on it, of course. It is your standard 110 power outlet. And it comes with the manual and of course the cooktop itself. We're going to be using this in our tiny home because we don't have a cooktop in there, and we're either going to use it like this, where, I mean, it has feet on it. It's got these little rubber feet. You can just set it on a countertop if you want, or you can actually cut your countertop and set this into it so it's like a built-in, cooktop. It's all touch sensitive, so you can just touch these little buttons here to make it work. I'm going to clean it off because it still has some of the, packaging oils on it. Go through the manual, get this thing plugged in, and we'll test it out. All right, so I've got the cooktop here cleaned off. I've got it plugged in here to my island so that I can test this out. A couple things I wanted to note, just so you know, it is an induction cooktop. So that's actually different than a regular cooktop. Like an electric one like this might be a radiant cooktop, which means the elements inside just heat up, and then that heat transfers to your cookware, like your pot or pan. That's kind of how a gas cooktop works too, right? It's just heating up. Now, an induction cooktop actually uses magnets inside of these. There's coils, and you have to have special cookware to work with an induction cooktop. So we do have some induction cookware, and what that does is, instead of it just generating a bunch of heat and then that heat transferring to your pot or pan, this actually sends the heat to your pan or pot, and it heats it up quicker. It's more energy efficient. There's less heat loss on it, so you don't have just a bunch of heat going everywhere and then some of it going to your cookware. It's more focused to your cookware. So again, it being induction, it has to work with induction cookware. So easiest way to figure that out is to flip it over, and on the back, here, let me get one of my pans. So like on this pan, it's a little shiny, but it says induction safe. And that means it's got the appropriate, magnetic field or whatever it is in this pan to allow the heat to transfer properly from the induction cooktop to this pan. That's important because if this was not induction safe, you could actually mess up your cooktop because it would be trying to work and send that heat here, and there'd be nothing there to receive it properly, and you could end up messing your cooktop up. So on this cooktop, you only want to use induction safe cookware. Another thing to notice is kind of like they have these little circles here, and what those are is it's telling you where to position your pot or pan. So if you have a small pot, this should be kind of on the edge to center it, and then this is as they get bigger. You always want to center your cookware in the middle of the eye to be right over the induction, I think they're called hobs or something like that, but the part inside of this cooktop that sends the heat, you want it centered on that, and that's what the circles and the designs here are for. Then, you got your power button, lock button, up and down on temperature, timers, function. You've got all that there. You do not want to turn on an induction cooktop until you actually have the cookware there. Again, because you don't want it trying to send this heat off of the cooktop into nothing. So I'm going to get a pot actually and put on here, and we're going to just boil some water. So now I've got some water in this induction safe pot we have here, and I'm going to go ahead and power this on and let you see these different features. So you'll hit power, and if you notice, it's just got little dashes. That's because you need to tell it how you want to heat it. This is a power level, or you can do a temperature level. So we can do 240 Celsius. You can tell it to go down or up, or you can just say, hey, I want to heat this on level 9 like you would normally have for like a dial. And you can, put that down also. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it 240 degrees Celsius. And there's also a timer function. You can tell it like how long you want it to be on, maybe 10 minutes, and that's it. I think it has a max time of 99 minutes. And there is a safety feature here that if you leave this on for longer than 2 hours, it'll just turn off. You also have a child lock here. You can lock out anyone coming in here and just accidentally putting their hands on it. So that's a good feature also. So we're gonna go ahead and let this do what it needs to do. I'm gonna keep an eye on the time and see how quick it boils this water. All right, so we're right about 3 minutes and we've already got some decent activity going on in here. And the cool thing is you don't have that crazy radiant heat. Like I couldn't normally never put my hand, and I don't recommend this, but there's just no heat coming off the sides. I mean, I feel heat from the pot, but it's almost like the cooktop doesn't have any heat around it. It is sending all of that power straight into this pot to heat that water. So yeah, I definitely think this is cool. And you also got to remember, I mean, this is off of a 110 plug. This isn't a 220 plug like you would have on electric cooktops, you know, big ones. So I think the max power it said is 1,000 watts on one eye. I think if you put them both on, the max is 1,800 watts. So they'll share the 1,800 watts based upon, you know, what power settings you have it on. But yeah, now this thing is already up to a full boil. I can see the water starting to bubble out. Awesome. Well, I definitely like this. I think you will too. I hope this information was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care.